One, two, three. 3, 2, 1.
1.
1.
1.
2.
Yeah! Yeah! Awesome. Guys, welcome. We're crowded around in my bedroom around this little tiny microphone with the camera way up there. This is the first ever video podcast. Guys, we made it.
And
Yeah.
You
We
can't
made it.
see the fancy fireplace mantle going on.
No, because we're obviously turned a different way.
No, yeah, we're gonna get it.
Yep. Couldn't get it in the shot.
I still call bullshit.
No, don't worry about that. Guys, I'm so excited. We're all here. So I guess since this is the first time that we've seen us all together, video-wise, we should all introduce ourselves one more time. Starting on my left, I have
Gabby,
my sister. Right here in the middle, we got
Joey.
I'm obviously Jacob, by the way. I skipped myself, but that's okay. And then we have
Jeffro.
Jethro Gibbs. That's him. Yep.
Jeffro.
Yep, Jethro Gibbs. Guys, this is awesome. I love having this. This is great.
This is awkward.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit.
Just remember that if you're going to look into the camera, I just reminded myself of this,
Right.
that we're not looking into the...
I was
the
saying-
Yeah,
camera
we're not looking
screen.
at that one. We're looking at that one. Hi, internet.
Hi.
Hi.
Well,
My name is Martin. No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
So I've called you all here because no, we're not sponsored. No, we're not sponsored.
we'll censor that later.
Well, they probably can't see it. The camera's way over there. It might as well be in another room. We're obviously all here because Brody and I went to see it when it came out, opening day.
Yeah,
but all
without
four
us.
of us went to see Star Wars yesterday morning.
Bastards had to go before us.
Well,
That's
look,
what I said.
look, I've told you this story 100 times.
I know. But
Brody's parents called him
I'm
and
not
said,
letting
"Hey, we got a ticket."
I'm not gonna let you live it down.
I don't care. It's not my fault. I can't help it. I said I wanted to go. I was having a shite day, and Brody offered. Hey, do you want to come? I'm like,
It's a
all
lie.
right, fine.
It's a lie.
It's not a lie. It's
It's a
totally
lie.
true. It's totally true.
No.
Totally
Stab.
true.
You know, I realize we're shitty people because at some point we could have, throughout the day, messaged Joey and Gabby and been like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah,
buy
do
some
you want to
tickets.
meet us?
I did. I was
know.
texting him at 6 o'clock. He's like, "Oh, well, Birdie and I are gonna go to the movies," and I was just like,
I didn't think they
"Cool,
would
I
have.
can-"
Look, I didn't think they would have any more tickets available. Okay, I was under the assumption that they would just all be sold out. That theater was packed as it was. Okay.
Did you know what happens when you assume?
I was surprised because I thought the whole theater would be packed, but it turns out that the whole back of the theater was packed. There was literally nobody in the front.
first four
That's 'cause
rows.
the first 4 rows suck.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
no, I mean, like the whole first section, there was nobody there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the whole first section sucks.
I know that, but like usually when a theater's packed on the
Right.
opening night,
Dude, Attack of the Clones. I went to see that with my dad, and I sat in the third row right up front. I was looking up like this the entire time.
Oh, it's so good.
But look, I went to see it. Okay,
Yeah.
I went to see it.
The area still sucks. Here.
Right. I mean, your neck
Right,
hurts
right.
afterwards, but it's fine. So
Take some painkillers, you'll be fine.
yeah. So we I told as a rule after seeing the movie, I said, let's not talk about anything. Let's just let it mellow. All right. Let's let it stew.
Yeah, so you said let it stew.
Let it stew.
Let it all
And
stew.
like a good broth. Like a good broth that takes a couple days to make. Just because I wanted to save all of our questions and all of our comments for this video. So let's start off with the easiest question to answer. What did we all think of the movie?
My heart.
Star Wars is back.
Yes. Show him the shirt. Show him the shirt. Woo!
It just says
Even though
"Durr."
half of it.
It says
Even though half of
"Durr."
it's cut off.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
A durr, guys.
Okay, we're good.
Jacket's coming. Black jacket.
So yeah, the movie was great. Everything about it was awesome.
Yeah.
Brody, you pointed out something funny, and this is actually a very good reason why it's awesome. Didn't talk about politics at all.
Oh yes, as soon as it, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, Star Wars, and then
the scroll.
roll scroll, and
Yeah.
then nothing
Nothing about politics. Nothing whatsoever.
That's the first thing I noticed. I was like, no politics.
No politics. We're done with that. And the funniest thing, you dropped something on the floor. Hold on. Okay, sorry. The funniest thing about it was, I mentioned this joke later to Brody. Now I can finally tell you guys. I always imagine someone seeing that movie and like going to an interview with J.J. Abrams afterwards and saying, "Hey, have you ever considered going back to the prequel worlds?" And J.J. Abrams will say no, and the interviewers say, "Why not?" Because I blew it up.
Fuck yeah.
I blew it up.
Ah, Republic's gone. Sorry.
Republic's gone. Sorry. No more Senate. No more Jedi Temple. It's gone. Just blew it. I was sitting in the theater with Brody, and I saw that happen. And I looked over at Brody, and I'm like, did they just blow up Coruscant? Did they just blow up Coruscant?
Yep.
Which has been in every movie since the original?
This was great.
They just do that? So yeah, major stones on J.J. Abrams for doing that. Also major stones on him for another thing, which we'll get to in a second. Let's talk about the opening a little bit. What did we think? Like, was it okay paced? Was it good?
I felt like they needed to start it with that because the prequels always kind of started it real shitty. So it was like, we have to prove to them in the first 5 minutes that this isn't going to be another prequel movie.
Right. It's not a prequel.
I felt like they did a good job with that.
Yeah.
Because like I can't think of the guy. His name, he's Poe.
Poe Dameron.
Yeah, he's Poe.
Yeah.
I don't know his
Kung Fu Panda Poe?
but
No, not that Poe.
he's a really good actor.
He did great.
And when he got caught,
Yeah.
spoilers. When he gets caught by Kylo, this is a spoiler one because it's coming out next week, right?
Yeah.
and then they're both sitting there in silence, and he's like, "You talk.
Who talks first?
I talk
Who
first."
talks first?
And then,
I'm like,
and at that point, I immediately knew, like, because
This-
no one was talking like it was a soap opera. Like, do you talk first?
right.
Or do I? Which one of us is the
Hayden Christensen, what are you doing here? which let me I'm just gonna say this outright right now as per what you were talking about. As far as like the movie's pacing was fantastic, and I felt like it was as much a like a darker vision of the future that people maybe have had after the original trilogy ended. Because the thing about the prequels is you can't have any expectations after seeing Revenge of the Sith other than what happens is the original trilogy. That's your expectation. But after seeing Return of the Jedi, obviously you're like, okay, awesome. They blew up the second Death Star. They saved everyone. Everyone's happy. Ghost Anakin is back with Ghost Obi-Wan, and Yoda's there, and it's all great.
Yeah.
Everyone's awesome. Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome.
And
everything is cool.
you know, the
when
future
you're
looks
part of
bright,
the team.
basically. But I think what people kind of forgot, and this is sort of, and you know, I know that they have a lot of lore that was built after that between the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, the whole EU.
Yeah, the whole expanded universe, and you know, it's kind of not shocking to understand that, okay, you blew up one space station, but they still have an army. You know, it's still there. You know, the war's not just going to end because you destroy one space station.
Right. There's still
a lot of fighting to do. So I guess I'm kind of happy that they managed to get sort of that feeling that the expanded universe had into this movie.
Mm-hmm.
But they had it dispersed between segments of like comedy and you know, just general
I like the way that you put it. You're like, the light side got lighter
and the dark side got darker. Yeah, it's like, okay, feeling. This is a good segue. Feelings on Kylo Ren.
I think he's great.
Feelings on Kylo Ren. Let's
kinda-
not talk about that one thing yet.
I was gonna say, I'm a little pissed off.
Let's
I'm
not
a
talk
little
about that
pissed
one
off.
thing yet. We're getting there, but general
Okay.
feelings on Kylo Ren.
I will say this much about him.
Right.
I do like the fact that they brought the twist in instead of the father being the evil.
Yeah.
And
It's the
and
son.
It's the son this time.
Yeah.
I do like that twist.
Right. Spoilers for everyone watching this. His Kylo Ren's real name is Ben Solo. So just, yeah. Shut up. We're getting there. I like him. He's cool. I told Gabby this. I like him for very one distinct reason. Is he is hateable in all the good reasons. He is so hateable.
I do like the fact though that with his lightsaber, he's He really likes using those two side things too.
He does.
He really likes using
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, he's like
Burn
holding
into
it
the
and he-
shoulder.
Ah!
Yeah.
So good.
Ah, yeah.
It's great.
Although, did you guys notice that between Anakin's and Luke's first lightsaber to his lightsaber, how like even the blue one was, and then how wavy and uneven the red
Well,
one
there's a reason for that, and they explain this at the the new Star Wars land at Disney.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's at Disneyland or Disney World.
The one in Florida,
Okay, Disney World.
I think.
They have an exhibit that's just all the lightsabers and stuff, and the little description for Kylo Ren's basically tells you that he made it himself, but he didn't really have any help.
Spoiler.
You're supposed to complete your training, right? And then
Yeah.
you go craft your own lightsaber, right?
Yeah, you're
did-
given one by the
he did-
Jedi Temple, but as
Right.
as your training weapon. But
Like
then
a
you craft
Padawan
one.
lightsaber, basically.
Yeah.
And then but he doesn't have that, and
Yeah.
and he's clearly not done with his training because right at the end he's like, "Bring Kylo Ren to me."
We have to complete his training.
Yeah, and so I'm pretty sure the next movie you're gonna see a sable lightsaber. But I do like the way that I can't think of his name, Adam something. I want to say the guy that plays Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
He states that his lightsaber's a metaphor for him because you don't know when it's just gonna randomly blow up or
Yeah.
it's just unstable.
Wow.
It's super unstable. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
really
the,
like that.
the reason is because I think we were talking about this a little bit before the movie came out when I was describing to you guys what
Yeah.
the colors of the lightsabers mean. The
Oh, yeah.
a red lightsaber is made from this is a little bit of history for all of you guys. There are crystals inside the lightsabers. That's the power source. And then the red ones are not real. They're man-made. They're synthetic crystals. All the other ones grow on this ice planet that's off in the distance somewhere, which no one has visited since the Jedi collapsed. But the red ones are man-made. And the thing about the red ones is they have tendencies to be unstable. And basically, the reason that Kylo Ren's lightsaber looks like a claymore, the reason it has the two blades on the end, or on the sides, is because that's extra. It's like exhaust.
Yeah.
There's those are vents on the side because his lightsaber would explode if it tried to all come out of the one nozzle. It would either have exploded or the blade would be way too long to wield. So those are exhaust vents. That's just pure energy from the crystal, or else it would have just blown up. So at the end though, I think did he lose his lightsaber, Kylo Ren? Because
No.
I don't think he lost it.
No.
see, I think because this is one thing that I was really pondering over is in their last duel, Kylo Ren versus Rey, she hits. I don't know if she just hits the blade out of his hand or if she cuts the lightsaber in half. Because all of a sudden she strikes down and you hear the lightsaber just go. And I don't know if she destroyed that lightsaber or if she just hit it out of his hand.
I'm not sure, but I don't think it's gonna be relevant in the next movie at all. The lightsaber at all.
I don't think you. No.
I think it's gonna go to a classic style lightsaber at that point.
Yeah.
He's gonna have the training. He's gonna.
Right. He needs it. And I love this dynamic for these movies. I love having the student the student of the dark side who's chasing power and will do anything to get it, and then this person of the light who just has it naturally and can always beat him without any training whatsoever.
Right.
It's like us.
What?
Because you're like the natural talent. Whatever. Backstory, history, family stuff.
Whatever. Okay.
You're weird.
Moving on.
Random
Gabby's
say
gonna
random.
join the dark
Anyway,
side.
Yeah,
what do you
Gabby's
think
gonna
about
join the
Rey,
dark
though?
side. What?
What do you think about Rey though?
Ray? I don't know.
Honestly,
What do you think of Ray?
Not like that smart one, but no. Honestly, I do want to. Like I told Brody after the movie, I really want to know what's going on there because when she touched it, Really?
I want you to show me.
fuck off me. But no, but you know when she touched that lightsaber, it was calling to her,
Yeah.
and it did the same thing to Luke.
Yeah, and his father before him.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so where is that leading?
Yeah.
Whose child is she?
Who's
I don't know.
what
Brother's-
child
brother's
is
sister's
this?
cousin.
She's an orphan left on a sandy planet. who has
child
a
is
strange
this?
calling to the
Which
Force.
That cracks me
sounds
up.
a lot like
When you
Anakin
say that, it
did,
cracks
and
me
then-
up. Sorry, Jack. because I'm like, I've been telling Jacob for weeks. I was like, Jacob, all these movies rhyme.
Like, I know this.
George Lucas specifically said each line from each thing kind of is a parallel to the other one.
And I know this, but
he
it's...
comes in the Friday after
We went to
watching
see
it in the theater. You know what, Brody? Everybody bought tickets and liked that because it was basically A New Hope. I'm like, Jacob, I told you this.
Look, I know, but I know this. But the thing is you don't see it as much for Phantom Menace between New Hope as you do between this one and New Hope.
That's because there was a original script by George Lucas that was supposedly great.
Supposedly.
And then all the people are like, no, you need to aim this towards kids these days. Jar Jar Binks, man.
Misa back.
Binks. Give me the Binks. And then...
Binks.
You need the Binks. and then it got rewritten like a month before they started shooting.
That makes
and then
a lot of sense.
It became what it is now.
Yeah.
Which sucks.
It sucks.
And,
Except for Liam Neeson.
Yeah, well, he sucked too.
I mean, yes, but...
Listen, people... I think I've said this before on a podcast.
You have,
but,
I think.
But if you look at everybody's acting performances and their general acting...
Yeah.
And then, like, Samuel L. Jackson's a great actor.
Right.
Great
Even
actor.
Samuel L. Jackson.
And then you watch
and Natalie
all
Portman.
of them, and then people hate Hayden Christensen.
Yeah.
But, like, if you look at scenes of Hayden Christensen where he's just standing there looking pissed off, like in the third movie...
Yeah.
It's
really good.
That's intense.
Right. It's really good.
It's dumbed down by this trying to be soap opera type thing.
Yeah.
And
I'm carrying your child, Annie. Force choke.
I'm trying to save you.
Annie, you're breaking my heart. Don't be silly, Padme. It's pronounced neck. But I think the problem is, and I don't want to talk too much about the prequels because it's not the point of this podcast. But
yeah,
I think the problem is that people hate Hayden Christensen for the wrong reasons. He was a terrible Darth Vader, terrible Darth Vader. But he was a decent Anakin Skywalker. Like, if you look at A New Hope and you look at Luke Skywalker right up until probably the last battle where he finally gets serious about his life, he's a whiny, annoying prick.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that's his fault. I feel like if he had a better director like JJ or something,
Yeah.
it would have been an all around better performance.
Probably, but I mean, still, the point still gets across, especially in those moments where he's just standing there looking pissed off, and you do feel something like that's actually really good. You know, he does a very good job at being a young Anakin Skywalker, a young angsty Anakin Skywalker.
Angsty Anakin.
Just a terrible Darth Vader. So, oops, I kicked the what were we talking about? Oh, Rey. Our opinions on Rey.
I like
She's great. She's a strong female lead that I can get behind.
Of course you
You
could.
would want. That's what I said.
She
That's what I said. That's what,
It's not what I meant, Joseph. It's not what I meant.
I said the
You know
same.
what?
I
I
mean,
did the
like,
same thing to you
look,
you did to me.
I mean, like, okay, so let's take a look at female protagonists in recent movies. Who do we have?
Elsa.
Shut up.
I'm sorry.
Real life movies, guys.
Real life
movies. We've got Cat Piss Never Clean from the Hunger Games.
Okay.
Which basically became Hayden Christensen.
Which she basically became Hayden Christensen by the end.
Yep.
President Snow.
You underestimate the
President Snow, are you there?
of the resistance.
Are you there, President Snow? President Snow. 30 minutes later. I'm not kidding. 30 minutes later. President Snow. Oh yes, I'm here. Yeah, thank you. Seriously, they wasted nearly 30 minutes of her just saying that one line over and over again. Because they're like, Harry Potter split the last book into 2 movies. We gotta do the same. Here's the difference. Harry Potter had enough content for 2 movies.
That's true.
That's the difference.
I think every one of their books had enough content for like 2 movies.
Safe for the first 3. But after that, yeah, probably. No, you're. Yeah, stop. It's just gonna. There you go.
You did it, Gabby. You got the force.
Yes.
It's fine.
I am ready.
I think we went dark for a second there, but that's okay. I'll just cut it out if it's not good. I don't know. The thing is just. Stop it. Just stop. You are Finn. You wield a lightsaber, but you have no idea how to use it.
No, I didn't. Okay, I'll be honest. I didn't really care for that. I
What do
don't
you
like. To me, you're supposed to use the lightsaber if you are a Jedi. That's always. I don't know. That's just the way I think of it.
Yeah, but
So when
none of them know that.
Right.
None of them know anything about Jedi.
Because here's the thing.
But
Here's the thing.
still, but
Now
still.
it is an ancient religion.
Exactly.
Remember
Yeah.
when they're talking about? Was it Funhouse that was talking about this?
I don't remember.
Oh God, whatever. But someone mentioned how in A New Hope, when they're sitting around having the board meeting in the Death Star, and Darth Vader walks in, and he's like, "Well, this weapon's great, but it's no match for the powers of the Force." And this one dude sitting there's like, "Look, we don't care about your ancient magic and ancient hokey religions or whatever." And I'm thinking, and I think it was Funhouse that pointed this out. I could be wrong, but why do they say ancient religion? It's been like 20 years since the Jedi were killed. That's not ancient. But now I think after all this happened, after like 30 more years have passed, now we can call it an ancient religion.
Yeah.
Because it's not been a thing for 70, 80 years now. So now you can call it an ancient religion. Especially in their universe.
I still think a lightsaber, lightsaber.
Yep, that
should
one.
be used by Jedi.
But Han Solo used the lightsaber to cut open
The tauntaun.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? Whatever.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I really like this aspect. Is I'd always imagined what would have happened if Han Solo had ever just for one fight picked up a lightsaber and used it. Like I always in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, it's probably not going to be as useful to him as a blaster.
He's still gonna be. I think he's still gonna be able to kill somebody.
But yeah,
It's the weapon of choice for a Jedi, but it's not like the Force.
it's not the Force where it's something you need to be a Jedi to
Yeah,
use. Or
like-
we don't want to.
like-
Actually, let's be very specific here because we always do. People do this. Not a Jedi, Force sensitive.
Yeah, sorry. But I can say that it's like Yoda. Yoda should have never had a lightsaber.
Really?
I don't think so.
Little midget bouncing around with a green lightsaber.
Never should have happened.
Never should happen.
Never should have happened.
It was so
I-
funny.
He
And-
really
and
didn't
the
need it
thing
though.
He never needed it.
I really think that and this we're talking about the prequel trilogy again, but
It just
I really
Stop
feel
it,
like
guys.
I really feel like that battle between him and Palpatine in number 3 would have been a little bit cooler without the lightsabers.
Yeah.
It's just them forcing each other.
yeah.
Just just
Force.
like the
Force.
thing is even when he's like 900 years old and like a movie away from death, Yoda can still pick up that crashed
Right.
X-wing like it's no problem. Right.
Yoda just
Size doesn't matter.
Luke's just
So like Luke's a little baby. Right, he doesn't
I'm-
even give a fuck.
Well, I'm glad we're kind of talking about the Force now because that's one thing I really like about the Force Awakens because I know that's the big concept in it.
Yeah.
So when they the dark side Force, it gave me chills when they used it.
Yeah.
They did a really good job showing off the Force in that movie.
Yeah, like because in all the other movies, you would either hear nothing at all or you hear this little whoosh.
Yeah.
Now it's
It's like this
intense.
profound sound, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh god.
and
It's
the walls
intense.
of the theater start shaking.
It's super intense. Kylo Ren is
And he
is
has
great.
different powers than what a lot of the other ones. Because I mean,
not
not
really.
really, but I mean, he was able to.
I say, look, I think it's like this. The Force doesn't really have specific powers. It's just
It's like a.
it's just how you use it.
Yeah, it's like a omniscient being surrounding everybody. Is basically what they say.
Yeah.
Midichlorians.
Midichlorians.
Feel the force.
There's a random scientific term out my ass.
Yeah.
Midichlorians.
Midichlorians. There you go. They're little tiny organisms that live in us in a
Wow.
symbiotic relationship. What happened to magic?
Yeah, science.
Science.
Maybe it's magic.
You know.
That's gonna be your job now. Is every so often touch the screen when it goes dark.
When I touch your face.
Okay. Yeah, I love
Adele?
it. It's so awesome. The new, and this is something I also want to say is sound design for this movie was on point. Everything about like from the sound of the X-wings to the sound of the TIE fighters to just simple explosions.
I like the blasting sound.
Even the blasters
I like that sound.
all sounded great. Sounded fantastic.
You know what? My favorite thing about it is that he went old school with it.
He did.
He didn't. He used blue screens for it, but he literally used like small ends and then
Set pieces.
Set pieces.
Yeah.
Like little TIE fighters.
Yeah.
And they just move. Oh man.
It's so good.
That excites me because it's not just a whole bunch of CG garbage everywhere.
Right.
CG garbage.
Right. Like on it. Like okay. So I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's an honest trailer out for the first Star Wars movie.
The New Hope.
Yeah. And the guy who does the honest trailers, he mentions watch this cinematic masterpiece as George Lucas steadily ruins it over the course of 10 years with more and more CGI. And then it gets to this one scene where they're driving into Mos Eisley spaceport. Obi-Wan and Luke and the two droids. They're flying into Mos Eisley, and this creature comes lumbering through the screen and blocks everything. And the honest trailer's like, "Move your CGI! I can't see." I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, "That's really true." So yeah, I love the old school stuff. It's great. It's because it's like it's sort of a message to filmmakers these days. Like you don't need to have ridiculous amounts of like special effects all over the place.
Right.
Look at what we can do with
Strings.
with models that people created
And strings.
that we just move.
It's like, I like what J.J. Abrams said in an interview because I was up like 2 nights ago watching a whole bunch of interviews from the whole cast.
Yeah,
Naturally.
That's how excited I was about watching it a second time.
right. A second time. And the thing was this, and I told Gabby this. I'm like, because you asked me, so how was watching it the second time? And I'm like, it's still great.
Right. But he was like,
Wish I knew.
he was like, people really need to understand this. Digital is great and all,
Yeah.
but there's just something magical about the 35 frame lens thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what that stuff is, but
I don't either. I'm not a
It is.
techie.
I think it's just regular film. I think that's what he was
Yeah,
saying it
35
was.
millimeter film.
Yeah. He was just like, it's just, there's something magical about it.
Right. Because the thing is when when A New Hope came out, and people tend to forget this, but when A New Hope came out, it changed cinema history.
Right.
Like, movies were not the same, because all of a sudden it made people realize that's what we want to do. Because, and I read this in a Yahoo post or whatever, on news feed or whatever, and I think I mentioned it to you, but there was a movie that was supposed to come out the same year as Star Wars. I mean, it did come out. It came out, I think, like a couple months before, or maybe a couple months after. And it starred the Officer Brody from Jaws, and it was about a group of guys from different parts of the world, and they're all like not honest guys, and they're getting paid to haul something through the jungles or whatever. And it was supposed to be this really deep, thought-provoking think piece that was like slow build, and its climax wasn't until like the very end of the movie, and it's apparently really good, but Star Wars came out just before that, and all of a sudden people were like, "Oh my God, what is this masterpiece?
Star Wars.
What is this?"
Star Wars madness.
Because Star Wars was like the first film in a long while to not have this like slow build and this very big long introduction to characters. It was, here's the action, we will give you tidbits of information along the way, and then right about just after the middle of the movie, you'll have all you need to know for the climax. And the climax will blow you away. Mm-hmm. Literally. Death Star. That is that was people's minds when they saw this movie. Because, like, it was, it wasn't the grandest movie. There are movies that came before this that had, animatronics, and, like, the Jaws, the shark for that was ahead of its time. And there were lots of other movies that had like real life big set pieces that probably still cost they're probably still cheaper than the special effects they used in the first Star Wars movie. But it was just this collaboration of let's just see what we can do with this new, this new stuff that we have, because we haven't tried it before. Like I love telling the story of how the lightsaber sounds came about. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's
Really?
the guy who was in charge of special effects moved his long they had long microphones in front of an amplifier, and he got too close and he made the whoosh sound, and he did it a couple times and it went vroom vroom vroom, and he's like, that's the lightsaber. That's it.
Genius.
I got it.
All on purpose. Too.
All on purpose.
Totally meant to do that.
And he goes back in interviews later and he's like, yeah, I was just pacing in front of the thing, and all of a sudden I heard it and I did it. I stopped and I did this a couple times, and I'm like, George, I'm done. And that's how they made those sound effects, and it was great, and it's awesome.
It was
I
great.
love it.
All right,
That's awesome.
guys, I think it's time.
We were talking about Ray before, and we got off track. But
I think we need to move off of Ray.
period on the point, or period on the end of the sentence. Ray's great, strong female lead. I love her. She's awesome.
Wait, we went from Ray. It was from Ray to the Force.
Oh, Ray to the Force. Okay, right. Okay.
Okay, Force
Force is
period,
also awesome.
period on the point.
Force also awesome. So guys,
Let's talk about it.
so
I think
they
it's
blew up Coruscant. J.J. Abrams got some big balls for that,
Yes.
but J.J. Abrams has bigger balls for doing something else.
Shooting Chewie.
Took my
Shooting
heart.
Chewie. Yeah. The death. Yep. The death of
Took my
Han Solo.
Yeah,
The
my
death of
heart
Han
was
Solo.
just ripped out and thrown over the side with Han's body.
So let's
From his own son.
from his own son.
I
Yeah.
felt like it was
I felt like
it
I've
was
seen
needed.
it before.
It was needed. Honestly,
I knew it was
a-
coming. I was just hoping it wasn't.
Everybody saw that coming as soon as he stepped on, because one, A New Hope, Ben Kenobi.
Yeah. So you're gonna try to find one in 3. You can't. There isn't one in 3.
What do you mean?
There isn't one in 3. You say all these movies parallel themselves.
Yes,
or
I do.
one.
A New
Oh,
Hope.
one. Sorry, you said. Oh,
A
sorry.
New Hope is Ben Kenobi.
It's Ben Kenobi. and
Phantom Menace is
Qui-Gon
Qui-Gon
Jinn.
Jinn.
Yep.
And then this one's Han
it's
Solo.
Han Solo. Okay.
But
Sorry for a second there. I thought.
So sad.
But I feel like this was much needed, because it's kind of like, it's that one thing that says, hey, this is Star Wars, we're taking it in a new direction.
Yeah.
This is our Star Wars
And the
now.
thing about this, and the thing about it is, and I mentioned this to you, but the one thing I really like about the new Star Wars is it feels like a parallel, and it is in every way possible. It is a parallel, so it gets you with that familiar feeling, and you hear all the familiar sounds, and you see all the familiar sights, and you're like, I love this. This is what we need to get back to. This is what filmmaking should be. But then it changes very subtly certain details, and you're like, I like it, I'm comfortable, but I'm also excited to see what we're going to do different. And, that's something that's really awesome about this movie. The death of Han Solo, you say that it was needed.
I'm not saying it didn't break my heart.
I
When
mean, it
saw
does.
I tell you, I was tearing up through most of the first time I watched it.
Yeah. Right. And look, and the thing is I don't know if you heard me, because you were kind of into it at that point, but for that scene, Kylo Ren is standing out on the platform, is walking on a catwalk over this big, large chasm, and Han Solo runs out and calls out his name, his real name, not Kylo, Ben, and they start talking, and all of a sudden you get this pan back shot, and somehow all of the other lighting is gone except for the one little stream
That was cool.
highlighting them
That was cool.
from the open door where Finn and Rey came in.
Yeah.
And I whispered to you, Brody, dramatic lighting.
Yeah. I think I remember
because I knew as soon as I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is not going to end well. I know where this is going. Because Kylo Ren is basically the new Vader. He is the new Vader. And I'm like, if he's the new Vader, there's only one way this is gonna end, and that's with the death of Han Solo. It's heart wrenching.
It is.
I
I was sad.
And I was describing to Gabby, because this is probably the only thing we talked about after the movie was
me freaking out in the car.
right. The reason it's heart wrenching.
We saw that.
I was like, dude,
We were on this.
They were behind us. Yeah.
She's like this. I'm like, are they arguing?
Yeah. No, we were having a heated discussion. The reason we feel something for Han Solo's death is because we saw Han Solo's life from the way it's meant to, the way you view people getting older.
Right.
You know, we saw Han Solo's beginning. Sorry, we saw Han Solo's beginning in A New Hope, and we saw his end in The Force Awakens, the fourth movie that he's been in.
We don't necessarily see his whole life, but we see
what we need to it.
person,
Right. We see enough to get us interested in the character, to get us emotionally invested in the character. If we had seen Obi-Wan Kenobi's life from Phantom Menace to New Hope, we would have also been just as sad about his death at the hands of Darth Vader in A New Hope. We would have been just as heartbroken, just as terribly scarred.
And the funny thing is, it could even be in the prequels. You could show us his life through the actual prequels. And I would still feel sad because he was the best part about the prequels.
He was, Ewan McGregor. He was the best part. But for story wise, you would have felt something that way because, you know, you would have seen his life from front to back, not back to front. So I feel like that kind of robs a little bit of the emotion, because in A New Hope, he's just this crazy old guy who shows up to teach Luke about the Force and doesn't really get the chance. He dies. Luke's butthurt, but we're like, well, I mean, he's butthurt, but we're like, okay, but these three other characters that I care more about are still alive, so we're good. So it's just the nature of things. It's just how that goes. I don't know if you've seen the interviews for him for Harrison Ford, but and this is something that I've noticed is just a funny common little thing between him and Mark Hamill. Is Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill, who plays Luke Skywalker, for all of you idiots who don't know. We love all of you. Give us money. Show the Coke. We haven't shown it. Product placement. Take a sip of that refreshing.
Did you hear that?
Pepsi. But the thing that it's a really weird similarity between Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford is they wanted a really darker ending for Return of the Jedi. Mark Hamill wanted Luke Skywalker to take Darth Vader's place as ruler of the galaxy. On his own, he'd still kill the Emperor. The Emperor would still be dead, but he would still take Darth Vader's place. And Harrison Ford wanted Han Solo to die as a war hero.
Yeah.
He wanted I don't know if it's I don't know how he exactly wanted it. I didn't read much into this because we had to leave. We had to leave for the movie. But I don't know if it's he wanted Han Solo to be piloting the Millennium Falcon and then get caught in the Death Star's explosion, or if he wanted to just die as a sort of last charge on Endor. But yeah, he wanted him to die in the series because he actually didn't like playing Han Solo. He actually didn't like the character. He was okay with it for the first movie, but he was really annoyed after the second one because he's like, I'm still the same guy. There's no development. There's no change. I'm still the same person. You know, he was kind of appeased by the Return of the Jedi because they developed his relationship with Leia more, and they kind of made him more buddy with Luke. But yeah, he still thought he should have died in Return of the Jedi.
He was still butthurt.
So he got his wish. He got his wish. He's dead now.
Yay!
And he said it was a fitting. And for all I know, he's probably agrees that it was a fitting death. But
they worked really close with the original cast in this movie.
They did. They did work really close with it. I'm very happy about everything that happened with this movie. From sound to characters.
Sound was my favorite.
Yeah.
Now, is there anything that not like Han Solo's death, you don't like it because you love Han Solo, but
right?
Actual something you don't like about the movie?
Nope. We're good.
Not really.
Not really. We're awesome.
Watching
Everything's
it,
golden.
watching it a second time, there's a couple things that
I mean, there's
I felt like at this point I'm nitpicking.
Yeah, there's a lot of plot things that I could have done with
that one thing that we talked about with the lightsaber and the Destiny.
Right,
thing.
because the thing is what's her name? Maz?
Yeah,
Maz
Maz.
Kanata.
Yeah.
So the new Yoda apparently.
Yes.
That's what they said in all official reports. She is the new Yoda. Maz Kanata is this little funny creature lady that runs the bar on I don't know what planet they went to. I don't think they ever said.
Jakku?
They didn't have the little. No, it wasn't Jakku.
Jakku's the
I know. I'm sorry.
Jakku's Tatooine Point 2. That's what it is.
2.0.
2.0, whatever. Point 2. Tatooine Point 2. It's official. Trademark, license,
Canon.
whatever. Canon. We're
Canon.
good. Maz Kanata has Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber, the one that was given to Luke in A New Hope, but was then chopped out of his hand by Darth Vader into the bowels of Cloud City in Empire Strikes Back. So the thing that I was wondering as soon as I saw that the first time around, I was like, how does she have that? That is like she says it's your destiny to have this. She's talking to Rey. She's like, it's your destiny to have this. I'm like, yeah, but how do you have it?
That's
And
a story
immediately
for another
afterwards, when she gives it to, because Rey is in the Force, because she's like, I don't want to be a part of this, because she has some weird LSD trip via the Force.
I like that's another thing me and Joey were talking about in the truck on the Steak and Shake on after that.
Yeah.
Is when she grabbed it, you heard Darth Vader's thing.
Yeah.
You heard Luke scream no.
Yeah.
And there was something else, but it was the vision of the
Death
hallways.
Star. Yeah, the first Death Star.
Yeah. So there has to be some, like, it can't just be, oh, she's Force sensitive, so now she's getting the
You think she's a Skywalker?
Because look, it was Ben Solo knew when Han Solo was on the Star Killer.
Yes. Getting to that, by the way.
I know that was almost a Death Star, but
Getting to that.
Luke and Vader knew that they were getting close to each other when Luke was going towards the Death Star. Remember, because he's like, I'm sabotaging this mission because he knows I'm here.
Yeah.
And then,
and even before that, when I think the Emperor's talking to him in Empire Strikes Back, when the Emperor's talking to him, Darth Vader, he's like, you felt it, haven't you? And he's like, yeah. And he says, it's the child of Anakin Skywalker.
Right.
And he could and Darth Vader can feel whenever Luke's around.
Right.
So.
And then it's kind of thing like Luke knew. Luke knew she was there.
Yeah.
And I know it was probably because, like, you could say, oh, well, the Millennium Falcon was flying through the sky. And then
right.
It's on a deserted planet. He's on Earth as Mark Hamill.
Right, but it could have been any ship anywhere.
Right.
So it could have been enemies sneaking up behind him.
Yeah.
But he knew she was standing there.
And that actually leads to another nitpick I have.
Right.
Nitpick.
5 minutes of staring got me.
It was so unneeded. The helicopter
Yes.
view.
Yeah.
I don't think that should have been in there.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a total nitpick. It's like complete nitpick.
I didn't like.
I
was
just like she's just holding it. At least have him walk forward and then cut it off.
Grab it or start to reach for it and then.
Yeah. It was just I don't like.
Or like say something like.
Can you imagine just standing there for 5 minutes and you have like the very famous Luke Skywalker who you didn't even know existed. You thought he was a complete legend, just staring at you like this.
Take the sword.
No. He's like no. He doesn't. It's not even that. He does this. He does this, and then it cuts to right, and then it cuts back to him and does. And then it's so weird.
And another thing, I could have sworn this. It was him. He looks back, and does he not take off his hood?
He does.
All right, and then puts it back on for the helicopter.
Yeah, yeah, he does. No, that's just his hair. That's just his hair.
Is it just his
hair?
hair?
It's just his hair. Because I thought that too.
I could have sworn. I wasn't paying attention the second time because it annoyed me so much the first time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's just his hair. He's sporting the Jedi hair and the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looked really good. I thought he would, because he's real chunky now. I thought he would.
Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, especially on
He
like,
looks
the
a
Flash
lot-
and stuff. He's
Yeah.
a real chunky guy, but he's always been a heavy set in his older days. But
Yeah.
he looked really good.
He looks fine, yeah.
And he looked like an older Luke. And
He does.
I was
And that's the
surprised.
thing. And that's the thing that I can say about each one of the original characters. They just look like older versions of themselves.
Right.
Which is really nice. They don't look drastically different, and nothing is super changed.
It's like when Leia
Like
and
even
Han
even
Solo-
Leia look like even
different hairstyle, same jacket, different jacket.
yeah.
Yeah.
She looks just like an older version of herself. The thing that gets me though, that's really, and I don't know if this is a nitpick for me, and I don't know if it's just because I'm a weird person. Her voice kind of weirds me out.
Yeah.
Her voice.
It's
She has a very
She's not young no more. She's got a little rasp to it.
yeah. She has a very old womany voice.
Yeah.
A very raspy old womany voice. But yeah, they all look great. They all look just like older versions of themselves, and it's great. But the thing about the lightsaber, because I know we kind of got a little off topic there, but that was a good nitpick. That crane is kind of annoying. Did Michael Bay do this shot? What the hell? The thing about the lightsaber is it's gone in Cloud City, and then Maz Kanata shows up and has it. And after Rey runs off because she doesn't want anything to do with it, Han Solo and Finn show up because the Empire is here, and they're like, "Where's Rey?"
First Order.
Or First Order, yeah. Sure, I gotta get used to that. First Order, not Empire. And she's like, "Here, take this." And Han Solo's like, "Where did you get this?" And she's like, "That is a good question
For
for another time." And you every time we mention this, you say the same things like, "I don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain." I'm like, and that's one of those things where like a director knows that somebody's gonna ask a very specific question and intentionally avoids like addressing that question whatsoever.
See, people would say that's like
Like she could have at least said, "I found it," or something like that, and I'll explain, or I will give you more details some other time. But no, she flat out says, "I'm not gonna tell you now."
Go
But
shoot.
you know what? If you just think about it, right? Just think about it. There's so much attention to detail in this movie
Yeah.
that I feel like that was 100% intentional.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't intentional. I'm totally saying it's
And
intentional.
I don't think it was lazy writing or anything.
No,
I feel
no,
like
no.
He was literally like, because like every movie has always had some kind of theory around it,
Right.
and I feel like this is
Getting to that too.
yeah, and
Getting to that too. All right, so So you mentioned the base. I know this seems like a dumb idea. Let's pretend I'm J.J. Abrams for a second, guys. I know this seems like a dumb idea, but you know the Death Star. People like that. Let's make a bigger one.
That's what I said. I was just like,
Let's make a bigger one.
it's another Death Star.
And the
The sad thing is, they went from a small one to
yeah,
the third
planet.
movie. There was a bigger one,
A
but it
slightly-
wasn't
a slightly bigger.
and all of a sudden now it's
It's a
like
planet.
huge.
It's
yeah,
a planet.
It was what?
It was
Comet,
a
moon.
No, it was a small. It was a small moon
A bigger
to
moon.
just above an average moon to Jupiter.
Yeah,
It's basically Jupiter.
I like.
and it kills
And
freaking
another thing,
stars.
I had
too.
a-
Yeah, it
I-
arms. And the thing about
I was confused at one point about the sucking in the star thing, because when they blow up the planet, does the sun just stay there?
that's another thing.
When they
That's
flew
another
off, it
thing.
looked like
Another
the sun was just
nitpick.
there.
That's another nitpick because they blow up Coruscant, and then later you get the exposition that it literally eats a star to get that power.
Right.
But then I'm like,
The sun's bad.
did they have 2 suns in this system that they just chewed up? Because I'm pretty sure they already used one to blow up Coruscant.
I think they just move it like they did the Death Star.
But that's a planet, though, and I don't think like the Death Star was like the Death Star. They flat out said this is a space station. It's meant to move, and you get lots of lore in between the prequel and the original trilogy that tells you it does have stuff on it that makes it move, and I don't remember really what it was. If it was just like gravity messing stuff, or if it was actual thrusters, but it does have stuff that makes it move. This is a planet. Like they don't.
They
Like
literally
what I'm
cut half of it
guessing.
out and put it
Yeah,
inside
what
of
I'm
it.
guessing is they just cut a ring around it and then cut straight through it to the core, and that's basically how they made the station. It's not just a thing now. It's not all metal. There's rock and stuff, and there's trees, and there's life. There's birds. We saw birds as the Millennium Falcon crashed.
Here's the question for you. There's one shot of it that when it first shot out the first time.
Yeah.
Did you not notice that it was like green and had trees, and then you go to another shot where they're coming in to attack, and it was snowy?
It's all snow. I think that's just to hammer home the point that it's
huge.
It's huge. It's
there's
a huge
like
planet.
Different seasons. There's holes and shit.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
basically like taking Earth but making it a big giant gun.
But then it pans
And
out.
I pull out my gun.
But then it pans out and goes to the planet, and it shows it like it's all snow and ice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Jakku looks blue, and that's all desert.
Yeah.
In both shots of Jakku, the thing is blue, and it's just a desert. Also, funny little thing, guys. Funny little thing. The thing's called Starkiller. Can we talk about how funny that is? That's so funny.
That's a great nod.
That's a great nod. Like in J.J. Abrams and everyone who's done work on this movie has repeatedly said, we're ignoring the expanded universe. It's not relevant because people who haven't seen or haven't read anything about the expanded universe won't understand it if we put it in there.
But I feel like...
But then they do that.
And then Ben Solo.
And then Ben Solo. Because, okay, so for those of you who don't know, Starkiller is the name of Darth Vader's secret apprentice in the Force Unleashed video games. The base that they try to blow up in this new movie is called Starkiller. Also, in the expanded universe, both Luke and then Han Solo and Leia all have kids. Han Solo and Leia's kids, they have a set of twins, a brother and a sister, and then a younger brother. The brother and sister are named Jason and something else. And Jason is the one that I guess that Kylo Ren is supposed to be. Mm-hmm. But Luke has one son, and his name is Ben Skywalker, in homage of Obi-Wan Kenobi, because his name was Old Ben. So they kind of, I like how they kind of mixed the two.
Yeah.
Because they found a way to give a nod without being too ridiculous.
Yeah.
And because I don't feel like there's going to be this surprise all of a sudden, like, your name's not Ben Solo, it's Ben Skywalker. Like, I don't feel like that's gonna. I don't feel like that's gonna happen. I feel like his name is Ben Solo, and it's just a slight nod to those of you who will understand the nod, just like Starkiller. And the thing that really gets me about those two nods is one is made for people who have been around since the originals. The other is made for a new generation.
Yeah.
And that's really nice. That's a really nice touch. Like, because now you've just pulled into audiences that are separated by at least 30 years.
More money.
But with the same... But no, it's not about the money, all right?
Not about the
it's
money.
not about the money. If it was about the money, they would have had all these, like, fancy CGI stuff and not these model replicas that took 100 hours to make. So, like, they would have found better ways to do it.
Maybe you're just thinking
Because
about
J.J. Abrams is a total fanboy of...
He is a total fanboy. It's hilarious.
product placement.
He's living the dream. He has now directed Pepsi.
Dr.
He is
okay.
yeah, Dr. Pepper too.
Dr. Pepper.
He is now directed 2 Star Trek movies and the Star Wars movie. He is basically king of the nerds now. He's king of the nerds.
I think we need to talk about one more thing.
What?
How Jar Jar Binks was done in this.
Thank God.
Actually, I was going to go to the Millennium Falcon. Because
the bones.
Are you gonna the scene? Oh my god,
that scene,
so
and also the fact that every freaking movie you see the Millennium Falcon, everybody says
That's a piece of junk. Yeah.
Every time.
They're like, okay, so let's set the scene.
But then it always comes to save them.
Yeah, let's set the scene. So they're the First Order show up on Jakku, and they're chasing down Finn and Rey and BB-8. And they're running towards their little jump ship thing in the scrapyard or whatever that'll get them off the planet, and it gets blown up. And like on the way running towards that ship, Finn's like, "We're never gonna make it in that one. What about that one?" And you don't see the ship at first, and Rey just says, "That one's garbage. We're not getting that one." And so they run towards the other ship that they're planning to use, and it gets destroyed. And she just stops and says, "Take the garbage one," and then you get the pan, and it's the Millennium Falcon.
Honestly, in the back of my mind, I said, "Please, this is gonna be the Millennium Falcon, isn't it?"
I saw this the second time.
Yeah.
you know how they in that scene they do it's like a close up look to them two,
Yeah.
and then it turns around to them running.
Yeah.
When it turns around before they even say anything, you can see the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
The camera turns.
That's
And I don't think anybody noticed that. I noticed it the second time. I was like,
It's
Oh,
still
yeah.
great though, because your focus is on the ship that's getting destroyed,
Yeah.
so it's good. I love that scene. I love that scene so much.
and
And the thing is when they're taking off and it crashes into the ground. You should have. I love the thing about going to midnight premieres or opening day premieres of movies is you get the most vocal audiences ever.
yes,
So,
everybody
because everybody saw that, because everybody's anticipating. They're all fanboys and they love going it. But when me and
Boys.
when Brody and I went, like, and I've mentioned this, but when Brody and I went, probably one of the greatest moments is just sitting there in the theater. Everything goes dark. You see the blue, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and you just hear a collective. And then it goes, and then it's dead silent. You could hear the seats creak. It's dead silent, and then all of a sudden the Star Wars intro plays, and you see the words, and everybody just starts cheering. But yeah, and vocal audiences are great, like, because the thing about those people is like when to
They
clap
care.
and you know when to be quiet. Because another time it was dead silent was when Han Solo was facing Kylo Ren.
Right,
No one talked whatsoever.
the cringe moment on everybody when the side of the Millennium Falcon hit the thing.
Oh yeah, you just heard it. Oh, and they and then they pulled up and they crashed into the side.
Yeah.
Oh.
See, I mean, I would have loved to have heard this vocal audience, but people
I'm
decided
sorry.
to not
Okay, I'm sorry.
tell us.
But
I'm sorry.
one of my favorite scenes in all of the movies with the Millennium Falcon is that one scene where she completely stalls it.
Yeah,
And it just
flips it over,
and he's just like,
and he
"Ah!"
shoots it, and then she. Oh, it's awesome.
Yes.
It's so awesome. And this is another thing. Okay, so this is a good segue. It's a good segue. I feel with the parallels to other movies, I feel like each character also has another parallel. So let's talk a minute about who is who. Obviously Han Solo's dead. So
There's
obviously
his parallel.
there's his parallel. He's dead.
He's dead.
Dead.
No, his parallel would be
So who is the new Han Solo?
who is the new Han Solo?
Yeah. Because the thing that
Finn.
got me was the thing is Finn is not a
No,
pilot.
it's the pilot.
No, true.
Finn is not a pilot.
It's the pilot.
Poe.
Yeah, it's
That's
Poe.
what I was thinking. Because the thing
Oh,
Finn is Leia.
the thing is
Finn is Leia.
right. The thing is like I'm looking at it and I'm watching this movie and in my head, because I thought about this the first time I saw it, and I'm thinking in my head, Rey really just does everything. She really just does everything. She's a gifted pilot and she's force sensitive. She's
And
also
who
a
does that
girl.
sound like?
So
That sounds like Anakin.
it does sound like Anakin Skywalker.
Except he
yeah.
wasn't a girl, but
It's a
Nope.
well.
I think
it's-
this, I think
well,
it's gonna Poe. I think Poe,
It's Han Solo.
Finn, and
And
Rey are gonna be that group. It's not.
but
gonna,
they're different.
It's not.
They-
Gonna, it's
they're
not gonna
different
be,
roles.
Yeah, they're different roles, but it's still gonna be that group.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're gonna. They're gonna
So here's-
drastically say that you can't definitively say one's each other.
They just have characteristics that
Yeah,
they're
they're all
you
gonna have
relate
character-
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, speaking about Poe, what about that? Whenever she got the lightsaber and stuff like that, and when they came in and attacked,
Yeah.
talk about him freaking going boss on those people.
Yeah.
Oh, that was
my God.
awesome.
Good
The battle at Mascanadas. Yeah.
That's one hell of a pilot.
That was
And everybody's
awesome.
like, "It's
Oh my god, seeing him wreck them was great.
Cause I mean, he was
Oh.
going in, taking 3 people out in the air, and all of a sudden shooting people on the ground, going back up.
Yeah, I'm like I
damn.
turned to Joey during that. I'm like, he's up to 17. I mean, he's
He's
up to
sitting there
17
counting, and I
kills.
was like, oh my
Wrecked.
god.
Wrecked. Get wrecked.
See this.
Do you like his New Hope trench run on the base?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was
told you
great.
everything's a parallel. But,
Yeah, cover me, guys. They get destroyed and he goes in.
but that guy had a really important role,
Yeah.
and and not just the movie alone, but just to separate it from the prequels, if you think about it,
Yeah.
because he had the two very first most important parts One would be the first actual contact with somebody.
Yeah.
Then the contact with Kylo Ren.
Yep.
And then...
1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Okay.
1.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, 1.
1.
2.
Yay! Okay. Sorry, guys. We had the
3.
recording. Yeah, we're only recording on Movie Maker, so things stop.
Wait.
So-
Freeze frame.
So
Joey doesn't understand.
Anyway,
Force.
what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the attack on Maskanata and everyone's
And Poe going.
Poe's important.
And then the trench run.
And the trench run, yeah. So I'm excited to see more of this. I can't wait.
Me too.
I mean, we got 2 years to wait, but I mean,
But
It's gonna fly by.
Yeah, I know we have 2 years
Honestly.
to wait, but I've said this. It's what is it? It's Force Awakens,
Rogue One,
Rogue One, Episode 8, Han Solo prequel, and then Episode 9.
yeah.
Ah.
See, but I'm not. See, but the thing is I'm not as excited for the other ones because I feel without the expanded universe, it's gonna cut a lot of how important the other 2 films are. I mean, the Han Solo one, I'm okay, but I really don't care about. I really don't care about Boba Fett. I really don't.
I'm glad you brought that up because that actually brings me to another point in the movie I don't like.
Segway.
But Boba Fett, he's not important at all.
No,
Really.
none.
Like, even his important capturing Han Solo, Vader ended up doing.
And all of it, yeah.
Yeah, and that brings me to Captain Phasma.
Oh
They
yeah.
built her up as she's going to be a character in this movie. She's going to be a
Right.
bad guy.
Right.
Did it get cut?
Yeah, seriously, because she's not in it at all.
She's
She's in it to say submit your blaster for inspection. Put your helmet back on. I've never had any problems before. This is his first offense. You're gonna regret this. And you'll be killed by my stormtroopers.
and
then that's it.
And then she takes down the shield, and that's her only parts
That's
of the
it.
movie.
Right, seriously. She's on. This is like when they did the first Star Trek movie. J.J. Abrams did the first Star Trek movie.
Uh-huh.
And they put O'Hara, however you say her last name, on the poster. And I'm like, really? O'Hara? Not Bones or any other person? It's Spock, Kirk, O'Hara. Really? Not Scotty, not Bones, not even Chekhov?
It was so disappointing because like I was watching interviews before I watched the movie, and they're like, she's a female bad guy. She's really
like-
a bad person. She's gonna be. She made it seem like she was gonna be a really big part of the movie. Which
And I was
guess
excited.
in a sense she kind of was, but not in the way that we wanted her to. She was just. You could have replaced her with any stormtrooper. Honestly.
Right. Honestly, I wouldn't care. I don't care if she. And the thing is I don't. I don't want to be too political, but I really don't. I don't like this because I feel that without her having big parts in the movie, I feel like she was just made a woman to appease a certain demographic.
Yeah.
I wonder what demographic
But I feel
that
like
was.
there was something cut there. Because they made her seem way too important. They had her on panels and everything.
Yeah, they had her on panels. She gets her own special armor. Like, I know she's a captain, but the thing is stormtroopers all have the same armor. The only thing that distinguishes them, like, in rank is they'll have a shoulder piece.
Like the red one. Like
Yeah,
the
they have a
red
white one, a red one, and I think a blue one, too. And then, just like when you're wearing a jacket, when they're wearing jackets around the tables, they have little bars and stuff that tells them what they are. Like, the stormtroopers have that, too, on the field. But she doesn't have any insignias. She wears a cape and this shiny armor. And I'm just like, that's kind of a waste, because she didn't do anything. They stuck her in the trash compactor, for God's sakes.
Yeah, so disappointing, man.
That was pretty
Oh,
funny, actually.
man.
They're like, what did you do? I was on the sanitary team. I was just like,
Right.
what?
I'm in charge now. I'm in charge now.
Calm down.
That was pretty funny.
It's just like, do
Although
you guys
there's
have
one thing that
you guys
I've
have a
noticed-
garbage chute? Trash compactor? Yeah, we do. He's just cheesing. Yeah, we do. Finn is great. Finn is one of the best parts about that movie because he's like, and the thing I really like about this is I feel with minimalistic dialogue and character development, they somehow made Rey and Finn the two most likable people on the planet.
Still a better love story than Twilight.
Right. I'm invested in that love story. I'm
I
invested.
ship it. Ship.
I'm shipping
Do you
it.
think they're going to be in love?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Really? Why?
I don't think so.
Oh, you know what it is? He's her brother.
That's it.
That's it. That's it.
Oh my god, please.
Well,
That's like in, I don't know if you've seen the commercials for Ridiculous 6 on Netflix, the Adam Sandler movie, and they got Terry Crews and he's somehow Adam Sandler's brother. Oh man, that's like twins level of weird.
Another reason I'm just like finding things now.
Oh god.
Another thing I love though, is the prequels had a problem with was Kylo Ren's gonna be the bad guy in the second movie.
Yes.
And he's gonna be the bad guy leading into the third movie.
Yeah, and then eventually Snoke will take over towards the
and
end.
then, who was the bad guy in the first movie? Phantom Menace.
Darth Maul.
And then who was the second? Count Dooku.
Count Dooku.
And then the third one?
I don't know. Anakin Skywalker, I guess.
it started out as Count Dooku and then went to...
Grievous.
Uh,
Palpatine had more. Wasn't as much of a supporting role anymore. He was front and center.
yeah.
Anakin.
Turning Darth. It was just... there was no...
All the
That's the bad
stormtroopers.
There was no focus. And
No,
that
it was we need to create villains because...
It was
Yeah.
more... that the whole prequels was trying to be a fan service.
Yeah,
And it became
basically.
such a fan service that became a disservice.
It did.
Oh.
And the thing is like, and I love this about the last fight that they have, and it starts off Ben and Kylo Ren, and then it's, by the way,
That was so good.
that's so good,
And because it
So
makes you
good.
know that
he's crazy.
no, he got shot right there.
Yeah, but he's crazy.
Yeah, but that let me know that if he didn't get shot, that I guarantee you that Rey and Finn died. Guarantee it.
Really?
Yeah,
Probably.
because
Probably not Rey, but definitely Finn.
Definitely Finn.
Definitely
that was
Finn.
the only thing holding him back. Him getting shot. It was the only reason that he
Right.
wasn't fighting as hard as he could.
Right, because he was shot by Chewie. Go Chewie. And the thing is like, oh, God, I'm sorry, I gotta say this before I forget. Nitpick. How did he get out in the snow before they did?
Oh man!
You're right.
How did he get off the planet?
Right. How did they get off the planet? Well, because I don't know.
Last time you saw him,
I'm
he was still
guessing
laying in the
Hux.
snow.
I'm guessing Hux found him, just like because he was told by Snoke to
But
find him.
this is what we're led to believe. She runs, grabs Guy, sees
Millennium Falcon.
Millennium Falcon, gets Millennium Falcon, takes off, blows
Right.
up. So that literally means in the same amount of time, Hux had to locate
Right.
him, which means completely find him.
Right. Because
He didn't tell him where he was going,
no.
and then
Chewie saw them.
get a ship,
Get a ship.
and then fly away before it blows up.
Like I can
But
understand.
does it blow up? It just gets me. Does it blow up? Because when they're flying away, it just looks like it's back to a sun.
It is because
It
what
blows up
happens?
into
What
the
happens?
sun.
What happens is the thing that they blew up on the planet was basically like a containment unit.
Yeah.
Is a magnetic field containment unit,
Ah.
and when it's gone, the sun just
Then knowing that makes it so much better because I was just sitting
it
there
literally the sun was born inside the planet.
that's so good though.
It is
That's-
good
It's so much better
because
than
it doesn't explode, and this is the thing. It doesn't explode the planet. It literally disintegrates everything as it expands.
And then
Like the force,
attention to detail, man.
Right,
It's so
the
great.
force of it growing kind of pushes the pieces out a little bit, but they immediately get sucked back in and disintegrated.
Uh-huh.
The only reason the ships don't get disintegrated because they have shields. They have shields up, and they're far enough away. But everything else just disappears. It just dissolves, and it's great. The last fight between Ren, Finn, and Kylo Ren. Rey, Finn, and Kylo Ren. I love that fight because it didn't have to be flashy, and it wasn't. It wasn't super fancy. It wasn't at all. Like, and you talked about fan service in the prequel trilogies. All of those fights got progressively more and more flashy as time went on. I think the only emotionally like convincing fight was probably Anakin versus Obi-Wan Kenobi in Revenge of the Sith. That's the only really convincing fight I have from that entire trilogy. Like you can kind of say Darth Maul against Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, but really that's just to get people back into the trilogy because the trailer itself, and I think Funhouse also talked about this. The trailer itself already spoiled that double lightsaber thing. Like that was supposed to blow people away, and the trailer it put that in there. But I feel like none of those fights were really meaningful.
Right.
And that this fight was kind of a return to like A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, where it's not super fancy. They're not doing a whole bunch of spins and stuff. They're swords. Like seriously, if you're gonna fight with swords in real life, you're not doing all these crazy spins and backflips. You're standing there with two hands on the thing, trying to slash at people. And what I really liked about this fight was that it felt real.
Yeah.
They didn't do all these crazy flips, and I really hope they stick to that. I really hope they stick to that.
I hope they keep it, like real.
Yeah.
Realistic. But I do want the next fight to have more flair. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because Empire Strikes Back, the fight between Darth Vader and Luke did have more of that flair.
Yeah.
Because they had already done a film, they got a little better with the technology and stuff, and they were like, okay, we can start putting some more, like they had hired professional coaches and stuff for fencing. Right. And they were like, okay, this is how this is gonna work.
Right.
Mark Hamill actually got a couple bruises from that too, from that fight. But I still want it to not be super crazy like it was. Like I point to Grievous versus Obi-Wan as one of the craziest fights ever, because that was
ridiculous
on scale. That's ridiculous. There's no way. Like seriously, I love this fight. It was super awesome. Super awesome.
That was a big plot hole in that.
Really?
And the Grievous Obi-Wan fight.
Really?
Prequels. We're back on the stinking prequels.
It makes me mad. It makes me mad.
Prequels.
Because like, you watch this one, and it's everything the prequel should have been.
It is. It's everything.
But like he's like, he tells Kenobi, he's like, I've been trained the ways of the Jedi, and I know how to fight.
Right.
And how does he fight with a fucking lightsaber? How does he do it? Tell me how he does it. You remember? Fucking helicopter shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's not how Jedi fight.
And the thing that always got me is it's 4 blades against 1. I know that Obi-Wan is a great swordsman. He's one of the best swordsmen of all time. But seriously, all it would have taken was 2 blades coming down on top of him. He would have had to block. Dude, you have 4 arms. Take the other 2 and slice them in half. Like seriously, there's no way that it should have been hard for Grievous to defeat Obi-Wan Kenobi. Just on like technology that's built into you alone. But what ends up happening? Chops each hand off one by one, and Grievous runs away. Like seriously, and the way that fight ends bugs the hell out of me.
He wasn't even killed by a sword. He
shoots him.
Yeah, he shot him.
Shot him in the heart.
And then it catches on fire.
Yeah. I guess it's flammable. I guess alien hearts are flammable. I don't know.
It was a burden love.
It was a prequel movie.
A prequel movie. All those movies are flammable.
Wow.
Trust me, I know.
Wow.
All right. Last minute comments. Anything? I'm excited, guys. It's gonna be
Ray
great.
is my hero.
Star Wars is back.
Star Wars is back, guys. Star Wars is back.
Star Wars.
We're
fever.
doing it. Oh, it's gonna be awesome. I love it. It's fantastic.
It's just great to be like, yeah, this, like, be happy with, like, yeah, this is our generation Star Wars.
Yeah, this is
like,
us.
You can be proud. We can be proud of that.
Right, because you couldn't be proud before.
See that movie right there?
Although
That's
not,
us.
like the prequels, I was always like, I was young for that. I was still.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
my generation.
Yeah.
Now we're just like,
No, that's not.
Mine.
That's not us. No. But you went and saw 3. Nope.
not us.
Prove
Not
it.
us.
Prove it. Show me the receipts. Prove it. Prove I went to the theaters that day. It's great,
Well-
guys. I love having it back. I love having you guys back. It's been a while.
I think
This has been a great podcast.
it is.
I love having you guys. Love seeing you all. I'm sure the audience loves seeing us too.
Probably not.
Guys,
Hang
this
on, wait.
was as our traditional sign off. Stop it! This has been an episode of the Black Jacket Club. we'll see you all eventually. Bye. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?